The 8th of October 2005 was a historic day in African football. Since its international break, I'm telling my favorite stories from World Cup Qualifiers history. And that day was something special on the continent. It was the last day to secure qualification and 4 spots were still on the line. Senegal thought they had their spot secured when they were 2-0 up against Mali. Why thought? Well, that's because the other competitors, Adebayor's Togo, were 2-1 down against Congo. But 10 minutes of Togolese history followed. Mohamed Abdelkader would flip the scoreline by scoring a brace to give Togo their first ever World Cup appearance and break Senegalese hearts. It wasn't just them though, as Ivory Coast were also looking for their World Cup debut. They just needed Cameroon to drop points against Egypt. And until the final 15 minutes, that just wasn't happening. Until a diving header from Mohamed Shawki in the 79th minute. 1-1 and approaching the dying moments, it was looking over for Cameroon until a last second penalty. The penalty to send them into the World Cup and Ivory Coast into turmoil. But they hit the post. Heartbreak for Cameroon, as that would be the only World Cup they missed from 1990 to 2014 as Ivory Coast made their debut on the world stage. Speaking of heartbreak, don't mention the name Fabrice Akwa to any Nigerian. That man single-handedly ended their chances at making it to Germany. In the beginning of the qualifiers, he scored a late winner against Nigeria to make sure that Angola were ahead of them on head-to-head. And on the final day, when Nigeria needed Angola to drop points, they held their breath for 78 minutes. It's because Rwanda had done well to prevent Angola from scoring. But cometh the hour, cometh the man, and it was Fabrice Akwa once again, a piercing header to send Angola to the World Cup for the first time and break the hearts of millions of Nigerians. And on the topic of broken hearts, how can we not mention what happened to Morocco? 2-1 up against Tunisia, all they needed to do was hold on for 20 more minutes. But Tunisia, well, they only needed a draw to qualify. So they hunted for that goal. And find that goal they did. Nasser Chadli sent 60,000 fans berserk in one of the most bizarre qualification goals you'll ever see in World Cup history. And in the process, destroying the Moroccan dream of returning to the World Cup. All of them happening on the same day, these 4 moments would change the course of African football for decades to come.